हमारे यहाँ लोकल जो मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट भी तशरीफ लाए हैं, हमें ये खिताब फरमाएंगे और इनको खुश आमदीद करने के लिए मैं अब्दुल कयूम साहब से गुजारिश करूँगा और उनको खुश आमदीद के अब्दुल कयूम साहब आप खुश आमदीद
जनाब मुअज़्ज़ज़ और मोहतरम उलमाए किराम, आपकी इजाज़त से मैं खुशामदीद करना चाहता हूँ। हमारा MP है I welcome on behalf of the Mosque Committee, Imam Sahiban and all other ulama who are present here. I welcome Paul Dunfield, who is our local MP. I know him when he was involved, not as an MP, but he was involved in anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. We have done a lot of good work on that, and he is in private meeting. He has always mentioned that he has keenly interested for the freedom of Palestinian and Kashmir, and he knows the Muslim community very well, and we welcome him as MP for Central Ward here. And it is Imam Sahib has asked me to welcome on his behalf. If you want to.
Thank you very much for inviting me to join you today, Nabuwat, which I know is an important event in the Islamic calendar. I'm pleased to be here to celebrate with you for the first time as your Member of Parliament for Sheffield Central, and I know there are many friends here from much further afield than my constituency and even from the city of Sheffield. And let me welcome you to the constituency that I represent in Parliament. I'm particularly pleased to be here because I think that this is an important time for those of us in politics to demonstrate our solidarity with those of you who are of the Islamic faith. That we need to develop an understanding within the country as a whole of Islam as a religion of peace and of tolerance and of understanding in the face of many who are at the moment, sadly, attacking Islam. Now, I have many friends here, many people who I've known for a very long time, and I've worked with over many years. Many of you don't know me, but as my good friend Haji Nazir has said, what has always defined my politics is building understanding within and between communities, and challenging those who would divide us on the grounds of race, or those who would divide us on the grounds of different beliefs. I first got involved in politics not in the Labour Party, but as Haji Nazir has said, when I was at school in the anti-apartheid movement, challenging racism in South Africa, and because of my involvement I was asked by the African National Congress to go to South Africa at the height of the apartheid regime to undertake work for them, which I did until I had to leave the country because of the attention of the South African security police. But that experience just made even firmer my commitment, my opposition to intolerance and to racism in all its forms. And I worked with many people here in the 1980s, challenging the National Front in Sheffield, more recently challenging the BNP. You know, I was brought up in Sheffield in the 1960s. In the 1960s, I have to say that Sheffield was a fairly monocultural, fairly white city. I brought my son up in Sheffield in the 1990s, and he is luckier than me because he was brought up in a Sheffield which brings together people from all over, whose background is from all over the world. A Sheffield where we have so many different faiths. A Sheffield which is stronger and richer because of the multicultural nature of the city today than the one that I was brought up in. And as I say, in these difficult economic times, what worries me is that there are those who want to reverse positive moves that have been made, who want to divide people for their own political reasons. We've seen them in their most extreme forms. I have to say, and I'm not going to make a political speech, but I have to say that I was deeply disturbed by the speech that the Prime Minister made in Munich a couple of weeks ago, equating in the same sentence Islam with terrorism and challenging the multiculturalism, the respect for different cultures, which I think is a very proud part of the Sheffield tradition and the British tradition. And I think that there is a role for all of us to tackle those ideas, because they are sadly pushed in our newspapers day in, day out. We must remind everybody in this country that we stand stronger together, and that division doesn't just affect one part of the community. Those who promote hatred are themselves going to be the victims of hatred if we have a divided society, torn apart and working against, with different parts of the community acting against each other. So I commit myself in sharing this important event with you to promote positive understanding of Islam, to promote understanding between our communities, to promote social cohesion. But also, we meet at a time of turmoil in much of the Muslim world. In Libya, today I understand that the Prime Minister of Tunisia has resigned. We've seen tumultuous events in Egypt as the people of those countries are standing up for democratic rights, are standing up for social justice, and we as a nation should be firmly beside the peoples of those countries as they make their demands. But also recognising, and Haji Nazir has made reference to the point, recognising that there are still unresolved issues on which we must continue to work. Issues which shame the international community and have shamed the international community for over 60 years. In particular, the continuing injustice in Palestine and the continuing failure to honour the decisions of the United Nations in relation to Kashmir. one of the things that I've done since entering Parliament is join all party parliamentary groups on Kashmir and on Palestine, groups which try to bring politicians of different political parties together to put those important international questions more firmly in the spotlight and to try to gain a stronger political will, not only in this country but internationally, to resolving them. I also will continue to work, I'm a member of the all-party group on Pakistan as well, but to work not only politically, but in practical terms, in solidarity with the people of Pakistan. After I leave the mosque tonight, I'm going to a fundraising event which I've organised to raise money for the reconstruction process that's necessary, sadly, as a result of the devastating floods in Pakistan. For me, it's important that I've organised that event now because there was a big response when the floods struck initially. But the process of reconstruction goes on, and it's vital that we ensure that people recognise the need to raise money now to assist Pakistan, just as the moment that the waters devastated the country. So I'm hoping that tonight I'm going to raise, it looks like it on the basis of the I'm going to raise something like £1,000 to contribute to the appeal for reconstruction within Pakistan. So let me just say again, it's a great honour to be here with you this evening. I use this opportunity to commit myself to working together with you in the future so that together we can build a country that is better, that is more at ease with itself, which is based on the principles of mutual respect and mutual understanding. Thank you very much.
ये मैं खालिस्तान साहब से दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि वो तशरीफ लाएं और हमारे राहबरीन का शुक्रिया अदा करें और उलमा की तरफ से और मस्जिद की तरफ से सबकी तरफ से कि इनके पैगाम पे हम शुक्रगुजार हैं। और ये गाड़ी है इसके बारे में भी खासा बताएंगे तो उसको हटा छोड़